So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 8th.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind?
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without wow. So there's a name that. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power. Ginger.
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by audition. It's not by audition.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. On the show today, we'll be lending our perspective on the issue that has been trending in the last couple of days, that borders around splitting of bills between couples. Should couples split finances, or should the man be responsible and bear it all? You can call us on 081-076-41679, 090241634440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. This conversation kind of started first with, I think Kiki had started a conversation when she said that when she's going to be in the marriage, they have to split the bills. Man and wife especially have to split the bills. And then other people started having the conversation in different ways. So a couple had an IG, where the husband was saying that he must pay the school fees.
Which couple?
And this couple, the school fees and the shelter. There are two things a man must. And the wife was saying that, well, the truth is that there are other bills that women actually do. You know, and it would be unfair because men in some instances are not able to do shelter and fees at that moment. So it would be unfair to make it look as if you must pay shelter and school fee, because there's some men, every man has a different phase in his life where he's unable to do either. And does that make him less of a man? So those are conversations, and this has started a debate in different people, and I'd like to hear your views. You can call us on 081-076-416-479, 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us. Nima, let me come with you.
You're here.
Okay, so the story started from Kiki's page, just as you said, and I did like the way she put it. So we have the general, and then we have the exceptions. But when you make the exception, the general saying, you know, a woman should be ashamed that, you know, she's in the house and she's not paying rent. She should pay part of the rent. And then the reason she put behind it being that, okay, so that when you can never hear the statement, get out of my house. So the reality in marriage is that women carry some bills. Whether they loud it, whether they silence it, they carry bills. But that bill does not guarantee that when you fight, you will not hear word. That's you can ask any married person who has to share space, time, resources with another person totally different from who they were raised. So even if you had your siblings living with you, you will have these exchanges, and nothing guarantees that you will not have those fights. That you pay the bills, that you carry everything on your head does not guarantee that. Self-respect and reciprocated respect is what you can use to battle it. Not, you don't buy your way out of it. You either love somebody and put up with them, or you don't. So the excuse of rent paying is not, let's not change because of that. That's if that will guarantee anything. And you know,
exactly.
You will, if you get to divorce, you will still split properties that you co-owned. You will still sit through some tough conversations, and nothing guarantees anything.
What does it look like? Let me come to you, Mary, for a second. A man's ego needs to be told that I paid for the school fees and shelter. I handled it. It is nobody can tell me that they sent my children to school. Why does that seem to be important to some men?
Well, because the way men are raised. A man, from when he's a child, I mean, I remember my son turned 10. He had a conversation with his father where I heard the father saying to him, "You are now the man of the house. You are a protector. You are supposed to, when I'm not there," you know. So a boy is already raised to know that there are responsibilities that he must carry. You're the one that makes sure that you provide shelter for your family, food, whatever it is that your family needs. You are the sole provider. And then as you grow older, when things, you know, life happens, circumstances play a role as well. You know, we're adult enough to understand that we can make some adjustments. But many men, I mean, at least men in our own generation, I don't know how younger boys are being raised now. You know, we're teaching them to be a man and take responsibility for your family. And whether we like it or not, that is what gives a man a sense of purpose. When a man, because of the way they were raised, if they are unable to do that, no matter what it is that they have, even if they have the brilliant wife in the world, the best kids in the world, if they feel that they are not contributing to the well-being of that house, to the growth of that house, in paying for bills, in providing shelter, in paying for fees, they never just feel fulfilled. I've also heard of conversations where you hear that men who are with women that are able to provide everything, and the man does not need to provide anything, still finds a side woman that is able to do all these things for.
Yes.
Because in that relationship, he feels needed.
Yes.
Like, hey, now I'm a man. What do you want? Let me take care of it. That's what a man wants.
Let me pause you for a second, because We're in 2023. Life happens. Women are being economically empowered. Should men begin to face the reality that what makes you macho, what builds your ego, we might need to review it as the years are going on, because your women are equally capable to pay school fees, equally capable to pay rent, equally capable to pay all the bills, to do the heavy lifting. Because some men feel as if, we just food, you handle food, these are the smaller things.
Those are the
heavy, but the truth is that's the major.
Go back and do the maths.
Exactly. So men have the assumption that because you pay for food, you do cable, you do all the school uniform, those are little things. But because I do the heavy lifting, that makes it. But that's not totally true.
That's a different conversation as well. This is a different one, because now we're talking about the 50-50 bill and what it means. Is it really 50-50? Yes, you are able to put in one go rent, and you're able to put in one go school fees.
But it's one time.
Please go and get me, we've run out of tomatoes, pepper, blah, blah, blah. You did it on Monday, you do it on Wednesday, and then you're going down the road, the fuel is finished, you're in the car anyway, you add a bit.
So is he really the provider?
No.
So yes, he really the provider. So that thing that makes you a man, I am the provider, uncle, is no more, because you provided house and school fees, but there are other things that are equally important. Yeah. So we are both doing 50-50.
The relationship.
Okay, I want you to jump in.
Me? The only thing I need to say here is that in my next life, I want to be a woman.
Yes.
Because the responsibility of men, I think, is a bit much for them. So please bring me as a woman. God, don't bring me as a man. I don't want to, because in this our society and many societies, men are the heavy lifters, are supposed to be even all those you buy petrol, is really the man supposed to take allowance upon he's paying the rent, upon he's doing this, he's still supposed to say take this allowance. And when he's not doing that, he's not known as the man. He's so, and I think a lot of men now in today's world feel sidelined or underrated by their women, because the women they are bankers, they are lawyers, they are this, they are that, and they are, they're earning as much, if not more, than the man. So,
okay, I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Let me rephrase.
That's where you're going.
The point, I want you to understand me. The point I'm trying to make is that what makes you a man, how our men were raised, right?
It's your provision.
How you provide those things. What I am saying is that because women are equally doing the same thing, so in many homes, men may be doing some heavy lifting. You do that big 10 million, 5 million. But if you add all the sponsor tomato, pepper, this, that, the women, because women they've split it. So you are now making it look as if man must do everything. But the thing is that, I'm just saying that the conversation will look as if men should handle, but what women are doing are equally substantial. So it's equally substantial.
School fees, to make that example. So let's assume school fees is 200K.
Yes.
And then you need to buy singlets, boxers, socks, school bags, and somebody else says, okay, because you've done this, let me just do that. You now assume, you took the lesser bill. When you do the addition, the person would have spent 250
exactly.
to 200.
Exactly.
So your question was, does the provision of just school fees make you the man?
God bless you.
Is that not it? And that's what I wanted to say, that the relationship is not one of superiority or the other.
Yes.
It is either you want to love or you don't want to love. Because in love, you must take small, see finish. That's the truth. So I wanted to link it back to if I pay rent, you dare not say certain things to me. There's nothing written. Nothing guaranteed. Okay, if the person now says it to you, even though you pay rent. I know someone, my auntie, my late uncle's wife, she did everything in that marriage. But we never knew. Because there's no latest car. My uncle did not drive to our house. So I just used to assume this guy was well-to-do until he passed. And then she carried everything and carried on. The kids are well-to-do now than in the US. She just carried on. I was like, I was not hearing the filters that she provided everything. And he was a happy husband, that kind of thing. Because when she puts to bed, he stays and nurses her through. No, he died because he tried to be a man. He got a job and
let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. We get some viewers' perspective. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abby?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink. Huh? No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
yeah. I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
I think it's only that can be wicked.
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a fuge.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Bad guy. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member.
Thanks for staying with us. We need to answer this question of what exactly is 50-50 in the home? Because when we were growing up, we were made to think our fathers did everything. Gradually, as we grew up, we now realize how much of support our mothers were. And even today, a lot of women are doing so much. And many of them feel like their men are not doing enough. Or some men don't even have any jobs at all. But my own worry is that should a man be judged because of his inability at this time because he can't pay school fees, he can't pay rent, suddenly he's not a man? That's where I have a problem with, because I remember I always said it before that one thing I learned from Mrs. Ibukwari Wushika many years ago when I was still early in my marriage and I started Your View. I went for a speaking engagement. She said, listen, it's not the resources that makes a man a man. It's the fact that he was ordained by God to be the head of the house. So in his ability or inability to provide does not make him less of a man. The leadership God has given to him is his role. So respect him even though he's not there yet. So that helped me. That helped me in my early days, because it helped me to understand. Listen, yes, my husband might not be here, but he's on a journey and to where he's going to be.
Okay, because that's a peculiar one. That's your example is peculiar. But God in his wisdom said, man is the provider. Reason is because if you put all that power in a person without putting what is it called, corresponding duty, the abuse can be huge. Imagine that I just wield the power to tell you, cook for me, clean for me, birth for me, nurture for me, this for me, that for me, and provide the resources on your own. Of course, I will abuse that power at some point. I don't know the need to take care, to help, and you see, because we are not the same. We are not built the same. If you have the power to compel somebody to do things that will just make your life easy without doing anything, imagine how it will be.
What if you do it in love, though? So you're right.
You will do it in love at that young, because you will get overwhelmed. We are all married.
Yeah.
This is 14 years for me. We know the weight, these things bring.
Yeah.
What the things we do for love. Sometimes you just want to be pampered, and it's okay to have your escape once in a while. So imagine that it was your entire duty to birth, provide, shelter, everything. And the other person is a man just because he's a man.
Let me take this call. I'll come to you, Miriam. Joseph, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Joseph from Maiduguri.
Nairobi.
You're calling from Nairobi? No, Maiduguri.
No, Maiduguri.
Go ahead, please.
First of all, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you people? Well, I don't have much time. Let me go straight to my point.
Yes.
About family issue, as in whether the finances should be split or joined. I think the main issue there is, in a family, if you have love, you have trust, you have selflessness, whether the finance is joined or single, there will be no problem. But if you join your account and these three things that I mentioned is not there will be no, as in the point is not going to be. I don't know if as in there will be no point joining the account. So, but if you split, I still have the love, the trust, the selflessness, as in being for the family, not for yourself, not for your relatives, and other things like that.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Go ahead, Mary.
So for me, I feel that this 50-50 conversation is not a very healthy one in a marriage. It does not make sense, because whether we like it or not, you cannot exactly quantify. There's some bills that are unquantifiable. There's some bills that you cannot put money. There's some services or things that you do in your house that you cannot put a monetary value on. And because of that, as our last caller said, a lot is dependent on the respect and the love that you have for each other, and the fact that you look at each other or whatever it is that you're doing for the home as a team, as this is something we're doing together. So when the man, for example, brings in the rent, he does not say, like, I've paid 50% of my own role, or I've paid 50% of the role I'm supposed to do. But he's doing that, this is what I'm doing towards our house. Knowing that there are things that you also do as the wife, and he appreciates you for it. He also understands that even though I'm able to pay for fees, there are little things that you do and makes the amount of money I've paid for fees worthwhile. Because what if I paid for the fees and my child is going to school with socks that are torn because I didn't really pay attention to getting new socks, or the bags are not really have holes in them because I didn't really pay attention to get new bags. So, or I pay for the rent, but the house is looking clean, the decoration is looking nice, the house is a nice home because you're there. We can't really quantify everything that everybody brings. So for me, that conversation is not really healthy. Just know that this is our home and we're going to work together to make this work. And then if you have a situation where the woman earns more, it's not a time, it's also not the time for 50-50 or 80-20 or let me see what I can,
let a new chapter. I want us to come to that in a minute. Woman earning more is an important chapter. But let me take this call. Hassan. Good morning, Hassan. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I've been laughing since, and my laughter is about you. Because let me tell you what is very clear. Yeah. You see, you made one point that a man would say, get out of my house. So you should join in paying the rent. It's a way of trying to clip the wings of women. That's not the issue. And secondly, You see, this issue of Awashika, she's talking about our own experience, she's expressing herself. I disagree with her in many instances. Stop using her as your own point. Leave her alone. A lot of people disagree with her. And secondly, you see, what is very, we have a lot of good housewives. A lot of good housewives. Marriage is about sacrifice. It's not about I'm putting this and putting that here. No. It's about when a woman earns your respect, you can go to any length and provide for her. This issue of educated women thinking that men ego is because they are putting something on the table. It's not a good perception of women. We are ordained by God to do it. Any man that fails to provide sees himself as a failure. That is the reality of it. You understand? We see ourselves as a failure.
Thank you very much, Hassan. I hear you, Hassan, but there's a part of this, and I like to even reference the couple that we're discussing about. One of the things that the man had said was that if I as a man cannot afford a certain school, I'm not going to take my child to that school. Now, as much as I get that, but when we put the child first, like what kind of quality of education am I looking for my child? And because my wife earns more than me, and I don't want her to feel like she's in charge, I would rather take my child to a school that I know I can afford, but my wife has the ability to pay for a better school. But because of this same ego, I would not allow my wife to pay for that school. So my issue therefore going to both Hassan is saying that what is more important? Is it the ego or the child whose issue, who needs a better school? Because a man says, I can only afford this school. And because I am the man, I must provide this school. But you as a woman say, no, I prefer this school because I have I think it's better. So who do you now?
I will use myself as an example. When my daughter was about to go to university, she had set her heart on going to a university abroad. And her father said, look, I can't afford this school. She will go to he named one university in Otta. And I said, and my daughter was like, no, I don't want to go to that university. And I said, don't worry, we will send you to England. So I went to meet him and he said, no, that he can't afford it. If I'm going to send her abroad, I will take the responsibility by myself. I said, okay. Because I wanted what she wanted. And she has really set her heart.
But both of you are not married, YK.
Yeah, so there's
you are divorced at the time.
But he was still the provider. He was still the one looking after
his child.
Yeah, financially.
Kind of, yeah, he had the finance looking after his child.
So, okay, I would say that he was a very considerate person. What we see is that he cannot provide, you can, but he's saying you dare not.
Exactly, there are men like that.
He's standing his ground and saying, as the provider, this is the future, the way I want it for my child, nothing else will change it. Even though you can afford it, even though this is for her best interest, I don't want you to pay.
So what is important, the ego or the child?
So that's why for me this thing.
But I paid.
Yeah, you.
And he refunded me some of it later.
Good.
Okay.
So that's why.
So he's a very considerate person. It's not the regular.
So that's why I was headed, which is that specifically putting a figure or picking a thing, it would not work.
Yeah.
Times, circumstances, things, life will happen to you. What is important is, as I said before, the same view. This is what we're working towards. This story about you want your child to go to a certain school is a conversation that's happening in many homes. I mean, I was saying to my husband that I'm surprised to see that when my son was going to secondary school, it brought a bit of tension in our home. And I found that it wasn't just my home, a lot of people, because now you're about to make like a life decision for your child. So it is the sort of thing I would like for my child, and then the sort of thing that we can afford, the sort of thing that, and we have to sit down and put that on the table. Yeah. And many times what you want versus what you have may not quite gel. But what works is that I am married to my husband, my friend, my teammate. And the person of importance is this our child, So we're going to sit down and put our heads together. How can we make this work? And then what are the options? You walk through the different options. What can we work that works with what we have today vis-a-vis what we want for the child?
That's for a reasonable husband. Yes, that's some men are not like that. A lot of men will say, I don't care what you want to. There's no time for conversation. This is good. This child is going here, and there's nothing you can do about it because I am the father, I am the man. That's where some women are stuck on. So they are frustrated that their child have to then they have to go to certain schools just because their father is insisting.
I've seen 3 different examples of those.
Nima, let me pause you for a second. I'm sorry. I want you to answer this problem. I need to take Olariwaju from UK. Good morning, Olariwaju.
Good morning.
You're live. Thanks for calling.
Everyone over there, good morning. Where are you? Nima, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
And Miriam and my sister Yemi there, my age mate. Yeah, I'm much as well. Yeah, and I'm 62 already as well, like you. Yeah, number one thing that I want to ask before I contribute to what you are saying. The UAE exemption, the visa lifted for Nigeria. Are you listening to me?
Yes, we are.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, that UAE visa, when the UAE banned Nigeria, the Nigeria banned them as well not to come to Nigeria. That's number one question. Because they can ban us not to come. And then they say the listing visa for us is like they are doing us a favor. So we should be ban them as well. That moment, that year, I want to know if we ban them or not. That's number one. Then number two, concerning the couple doing things together at home. Here in UK, mostly the couple, they split the bill because the bill is heavy. Okay? We got council tax, we got feeding, school, no school fees, but in the school, the children eat in the school anyway. But if you get less money coming into the family, the school will feed them. Or if both of you have enough money, you pay for the meal, the transportation is free. What I'm trying to say is that whatever you're doing as a family, if the wife is doing more than the man, don't let it appear to the children that, oh, it's the mother that is doing more.
Okay, get your point. Nima, let me let you come back.
Okay, so I have 3 examples of this. For instance, some women don't work, they're housewives, but they have the standard of life that they want, whether it's within the means of the man or not. In such a situation, leave the person that is providing to decide. Some women are working. They can afford to partner, but the other party is saying, okay, we are joining resources, let's do this way. And the other case is a woman who is very buoyant, she can afford things, and she just wants to do things. So I am in my marriage and I've sometimes just done it to my husband. So which is why I say you have to be very considerate. There was a time my daughter wanted to go for camp, and the father said no camp. He was against sleepovers, boardings, anything that takes her out of the house. And I sent her to the camp for 2 weeks because I asked him, is it about the money? He said, I will not pay for it. I said, okay, I will pay for it. And I went to pay for it without really discussing how the matter felt. And then when he decided to do the same to me, I started crying. So it's not always about money. Sometimes when it comes to a tie, that power of the head, you don't see it play out. He then decides this is how this family would run. Because you have sort of overstepped certain boundaries too. If you were also the head, wouldn't you do the same? If I could have taken her to camp in 2 weeks because money was the issue, why do I then blame the provider for deciding, okay, this is how I want to do my own thing?
But I'd like us to touch on what this last caller said, and I think it's an important part of this conversation. If a woman is doing so much, she shouldn't let the world. Does that still hold water today? Where the woman is the sole provider of the house. She's supposed to do it in secrecy. Our mothers did that. We had women, we know, you never know that the mother handles certain things. But can that still happen? Because women today are truly more empowered than a lot of their husbands. So are we saying that should still hold water to an empowered woman who the child can visibly see that mommy goes to work, comes back, daddy is not going to work, he's not doing anything, and they see it and it's clear, but she must also still come down and pretend like it's daddy. Is that still needed today's world?
For me, Mura, your marriage is teamwork. I don't think if it's the man providing or if it's the woman providing, the children have to know who is who. It is just they see that
provision.
Yes, it's not their business who is paying. And I once you start to lord it over your husband, or your husband starts to lord it over you, it's no more a team. One is the organ, one is the subordinate. And once that is, for me, that's a breakdown of the relationship.
And that's how it happens in my home. Actually, my husband detests, that's the word I'm going to use, every time I say to my daddy did this. He'll be like, why? Why would you say that? We did it, and that's all they need to know. Between you and I, we know how it worked, but for them, that's all that they need to know. And you know, for me, I thought, no, so that they would, you're hardly ever around, appreciate you more and things like that. But you see, the thing about consideration, which is something they work for now, then tomorrow when the tables are flipped, would you like it? So it's important that whatever it is that we're doing today, let's look at a big, let's look at it holistically, like how would we want for it to be sustained going forward? I don't understand this conversation of saying a woman should hide it in the sense that how else, even when a man is doing it, how do we carry it? Do we wear it on our heads and say, oh, this is what our husbands are doing? No, we just live our lives. You come into my home and you say, nice house. You meet my children, you are like, oh, lovely children.
It's me that did it.
Exactly. We don't go, it's me that did it, Oh, I like your car, nice car. I don't say, it's 50-50, my husband paid 50 on it, my wife. We don't do that anyway. So to ask a woman to be extra secret about and careful about it, just be you.
And it can be, husband is the one be misleading for someone like me. Now, my husband doesn't have to leave the house to make money. He has people working for him, and he on his phone like this, he's monitoring his business. But somebody visibly would think, the wife is going out, coming in, not knowing that the man is doing. But it can be misleading. You might read wrong.
Well, what I
think
it is this way of saying it's making the woman apologetic about what she can carry. Before person reached there, he arrived, it took a walk, it took a lot. And the society over years, they will say to the woman, go and hide and give daddy to pay the rent. Go and hide and give daddy so the children see him. Well, how about both of you sit together and he too mans up and say, okay, both of us, we're doing this together. And every conversation, you continuously have it together. So that they see a common team front, like YK says. Nobody should be hiding ahead and be sorry for what they work hard to
let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a few phone calls and tweets and wrap up on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications announces a call for entries into the 2023 Female Senior Secondary School Debate Championship. To qualify for the first round, write an essay of not more than 400 words on the topic, Is Social Media Doing More Harm Than Good? Send your entries with your name, class, school, and phone number to Corporate Communications at tvccommunications.tv. Deadline is 17th of September 2023. Join us as we embark on this journey to expose young minds to critical thinking that can impact our world together. This project is powered by TVC Women's Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We'll not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
Neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so the other part of this conversation, because a lot of women, as I said, are empowered and their decisions they would like to make for their children, for the family. And I've been very specific about children because it's where both parents can decide. Everybody can individually do what they want to do personally, but when it comes to kids, it's both parties. Both of them must discuss and agree. But because men in their natural role to be the leader and head of the home want to make certain decisions. But the women who are now empowered, I was sharing with you earlier in the year that I really wanted my kids to go on vacation this year. I mean, I had promised my kid last December, I said, if you do very well in school, I promise you we're going to go to Dubai. If I was doing Dubai, I promised them. Before they now shut us out of Dubai. I was not thinking of where else. So their passport expired. I went through all the work to renew their passports. I wanted to start looking for their visa and start working. And my husband just shut it down. And I said, listen, I can pay for it. He didn't allow me. You know, although he gave his own reasons eventually, which I understand. But as a woman who I feel that I had enough resources, it was difficult. It was a major strain for me to say, I have to accept that these kids are not going anywhere this summer. And he told me, put his foot down, they are not going anywhere. Even you, nowhere. We need to save our money, we need to research. You know, he had justifiable reasons, but as a woman, I just felt like, should I still be accepting, or should I still be subsumed under this authority? I should be, but I just felt like, how can't I just challenge this man and chance this man? Can't I just insist and carry my children and travel? You know, so that it was a major distress for me earlier. But I had to just accept, okay, they said no, we'll wait whenever. But people are going through that. And some people are not accepting that leadership. They're insisting that there's nothing you're going to do, my child, because some women have been advised that, listen, if you don't allow your child to travel, it might never happen. So you must put your foot down and carry your children and travel.
If a child is destined to travel, they will travel. Travel, they will. Yeah. That's the truth. But you let when it comes to that situation, let the head of the house be the head of the house. It's not about all the time about the means or resources that you have. Two people cannot be mad at the same time. And there cannot be two captains in a ship. You cannot say because I have the means, I must object. I will fight him. Except you see that maybe you have an abusive person.
What if you feel right?
Yeah, a lot of times. Travel even sounds a bit. Yeah, but there are some important things.
Yes. So I was going to say that there's some things that are, there's some things that we can let go, and there's some things that, like that, this is the core of us. Yeah. And I cannot, none of us will back down from this. Yes. We have to figure a way out. And that's when I will call all the family members on you. To put back, because, when you talk about travel, and because you actually mentioned this before, and you talked about the fact that he was looking at the resources down the line, everybody's saying, tighten your belt, you just don't know what the economy is going to look like. So in this case, this is someone that's giving you a reason, a tangible reason. But there are people that will say, I just don't want you to do it. I just don't care for you, You're not just going to do it. Yeah. And that is going to be a problem. So when we talk about marriages, it's easy to discuss about those who have people that they can discuss with, people who have like minds, you have same values. And that's why also in the conversation, when we're talking to people who are about to be in relationships, we say, be careful the sort of person that you get married to. Like, that person can make or marry you. Make sure that your values align. So that if, in your case, if a suggestion like, because of the finances going forward, we're trying to put it has to be somebody that understands that that's an important conversation. Imagine if you have someone, you're married to someone that does not care about finances. We spend it, let it finish, we'll find ourselves. Then you are not struggling with somebody that does not think about the future. So it's about your values, and if they align, and in your case, luckily for you, your values align. You understand the need to put money aside and save for the rainy day, and then travels will always come.
Let me take this call. Good morning, Tola. You're live.
Yeah. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes. My name is Tola. Like I said, I'm a first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay.
Okay, I'm having issues with that call. Okay, let's say comments on social media, please.
Because YK mentioned, if you feel right, there's circumstances where I have felt right about it. I remember my children going for swimming classes. My dad was a fire safety, water safety expert, but none of us could swim because resources were lean at the time. And when I grew up, I said, never, it will not be the story for my kids. But I married the husband and thought, why water? Why do you want to change? I mean, leave them. It's a skill. It's a necessity, a life-saving skill that somebody must have. And my kids will have it. And so we were having the argument back and forth. And I noticed that it was a bit not emphatic on the who is right or wrong. I registered my kids. And I did the drive. As long as I'm not in your face, troubling you for time, anything. I registered them. And when he saw them learning and how he felt no, this was the correct thing. Sometimes we approach it, it's the approach.
Trust me, there's some people that approach. I mean, let me take this call from Kunle. I'll come back to the approach issue. Kunle, thanks for calling. You're live. Hello, Kunle.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning from Ireland. You're live.
I want to contribute. Yeah, I want to contribute very quickly to this. The day a man says, "I'm the head of the house," that man has lost the headship. You know? So what is important is about discussing. Yeah, what is important is about discussing the issue. Yeah, once a man says, "I'm the head of the house," that man has lost the headship. So what you need to do is, I'll give you a quick example. My daughter was to go to college in Ireland, and she wants to go to the hostel. My wife doesn't want her to go to hostel, and we have to discuss the issue and resolve the issue. So I told her, you don't have to say because other people's children are not going to the hostel, she can't go. You must have a valid reason, a reasonable reason to say she should not go to the hostel, that she should go from home. It's not about finances now. It's about discussing the issue and getting the right perspective to why she should go, why she should not go. So eventually, I said she's going to the hostel. And it's my wife that is going to pay for it. It's not even me. So eventually what we agreed on was that let her try the hostel thing. If she gets a placement in the hostel, she will go. Then the daughter now wanted to go to an hostel with that she can use the bathroom alone rather than share the bathroom with other people. And that becomes also an issue in the family. So what I'm trying to say is that the way to resolve this is for the two parents to sit down and discuss the issue and agree on a pathway. When a man decides to say this is the way I want to go, and you stamp your feet, you are demeaning your wife, and the wife will begin to think of a way to take a revenge. She might not want to do it consciously, no matter how religious she may be. It is an inner thing, something that comes from your inner mind to want to revolt.
Thank you very much, Kunle.
Once you
there are some times where you want to take a few comments. Let me let's take comments first.
Yes, this person says, my husband is the sole provider and he lords it. The children know, and he also uses every opportunity he gets to remind the children how hard he's working. Not that I ever undermine his effort. On the contrary, I always tell the children to thank him for our provisions. Some men feel more of a man by what they provide, and they have their egos bruised if the wife is contributing. I didn't choose to be a stay-home mom. This was what he wanted, and I regret succumbing to this status because he has no regard for me, my opinion on anything. He decides for the family.
Wow. This one is even
Moses Ade says, many in relationship want something that is generally, while women wanted the C-suite, which always racks up the bills. The issue of school fees comes to mind. Truth is truth. Most men that die young or have depression is connected to the stress that they receive from their wives, especially the ones that don't contribute and give a lot of wahala. So
Jaffe Frederick says, so men would fight to the last any idea coming from their partner. Not necessarily that the idea is bad, but because it's coming from him, his or her partner. Approach is key, but the stubborn partners, flexibility is key as well. Thinking through positively, because
this approach doesn't work for everybody. All this approach, all those approach they taught us in Dream Marriage Counseling story, it doesn't work for all men. There's some men that those can find women in a good mood. When my husband is in a very good mood, you think that okay, you want to start raising issues. Once I start like this, Becca, don't even try that nonsense with me. He told 360, and I'm like, They will tell you that when it's a good mood, they just finish eating. Because it doesn't work for all men.
I don't believe in the approach of call him at night. When
Google rubbish, it doesn't work.
Let him sleep after he has eaten.
You know the one that they say pound the DM after they will divorce me. The DM can never
even after you pound the DM. Even after you pounded the DM, some conversations will happen.
Yeah, story.
That's the worst.
That's the worst. That thing doesn't work. I don't know. Our mothers give us some silly. Let me take this call. Let me take this call. Let me take this call from Alagbado. Thanks for calling. You're live. Hello? I think additional.
Hello. Good
morning. Go ahead, please.
Morning. Yeah. I am a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. I really appreciate your conversation on the table concerning the couple issue. Yeah. The basic fact is that if there is understanding, maturity within the both couples, I don't think there's anything bad on that conversation. Are you with me, madam? Because the fact is that if we all can see what is happening in today's world concerning our children, whereby their mother is to do show off to the children, even if the father is doing something and you are not showing it to the children, it always fire back at the end of the day to the father. I have similar experience around me. Yeah, I have similar experience around me. So, and the father is the provider, fine. But there's sometimes that things doesn't go well for the father. And at that particular time, you always drop things on the table. If you are not showing it to the family, and when you have an issue with your business or with your work or whatever, and it's not the turn of your wife to be doing things on the table, you only have issue to fight with in future to come. So anything you are doing for the children, you must carry your wife along.
So additional. So if things go bad for a man and the woman takes up the responsibility in the house, what is wrong in telling your kids that things are bad right now and your mom is helping out? That's a good example. So if you had a daughter, when things go bad for her husband, it will be normal to take it on without complaining. You should be the one saying, oh, your mom has my back in this situation, rather than see it as something of shame that she must first of all come and submit to you whatever resources she earned. Anybody, any human being is entitled to their earnings. And you must give them their flowers and be credit, whichever way you look at it. Let your kids have this dignity in themselves. Let no child, because of gender, won't be apologetic and hiding their heads as against the other. I didn't grow up in such a home and I don't support it.
Sorry, Mayor, I was just going to say, I think a lot of men need to be sure of who they are and be more comfortable with who they are. And not let any... whether she has more
external forces,
bring you down. Be confident. Be what you have been trained to do. And that way, there will be, there will be peace in Darfur.
Go ahead. We admire a confident man, honestly. You know, he doesn't really have anything, but he's so confident.
I'll just give you. Sorry, Mary, I just want to give you this small example. My daughter and her husband. My daughter's husband makes money. He's a writer. He's an author, and he makes money. He's a well-established author, and he makes quite a bit of money. My daughter is the one that she doesn't go to work, but she's working. Her office is there, so she has an office. Her kids see that she is the one working. They see their father on the computer. Maybe sometimes he's playing game when he has written his book or he has submitted his book. One day, Temidire says, Mommy is working. Daddy is playing on the computer. Another man would have felt, hey, the man just said what he saw. He just continue playing with his computer.
Let me take a call. I'll come to you, Mary. I have to hold you again.
Confident man.
Tola from Warri. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Tola. I called earlier, and I'm a first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I want you people to contribute to this topic. My contribution is this. The problem we are all having in this world today is a life of deceit. We deceive ourselves. We are not taking ourselves. A man who is earning 100,000 naira is telling his wife is earning 50,000 naira. On what ground? If you really marry your friend as a man, as a woman, you should be able to communicate in a way it's supposed to be. No man, no woman will tolerate lies. That's one of the major problems. You see, if you go to the Bible very well, the Bible made it clear, man is the head. But the fact remains that if you want to, your ego, that you want to claim to be the head of the house, then take your responsibility. You want to.
Oh, it's so difficult to hear him.
Yes, I was going to say that a lot of these issues that, we have in the home, especially about provision for men, is that even their counterparts, their male would say to them is because, his wife is treating him this way because he's not earning anything. Even if that's not the reason, even if you know that this man has so many terrible behaviors that's causing the breakdown of his marriage, God help that man now loses his job. They'll make the situation in that house about the fact that the man doesn't have a job and the woman is the one taking care of the bills, and that's why the marriage is breaking down. I think there was one actor who was ill for a while, and then the narrative came out that, it was because since he lost his job. And then when the woman spoke, she talked about cheating, all sorts of infidelity, not really caring for them or the children. And men also amongst themselves think that when you have money, you can get away with bad behavior. It's licensed to just do anything. So sometimes the insistence of saying, I provide, is so that when you are about to behave badly, you can say, I've paid for it. I've paid for it, I've paid for the house, I've paid for this, I've paid all the bills. So allow me be the, irresponsible person that I want to be. So
allow me to be the man.
Yes, allow me to be the man, which is an irresponsible man. But then there's a second conversation where really I want to understand is, who are we getting married to, or who are we staying married to? Are we staying married to our friends? I got this message that says that a woman built on the land that the man owned. The day that they had issues, he told her to remove the house from his land.
She's lost the house.
So, okay, so in this situation, so I'm seeing that a lot of people are hearing this sort of news and they're thinking, okay, how do I protect myself in the future? So we're getting married with the divorce in front. We're getting married with issues in mind. So I'm getting married to a potential enemy. And so if I'm going to be living with a potential enemy, how do I...
It doesn't always show in the beginning. So you're already inside. You're not discovering spendthrift. My sleep person, you're discovering certain things.
Yeah.
So you as you discover, you just go and divorce if it's not extreme, or you plan. So if, for instance, you have a man that has a land that he cannot build on, and you would get to that point, would you go ahead and build? And if you find yourself in that situation, just know that house will go with the land. Either they demolish it. I saw one like that where the man moved bulldozers and demolished the entire house. Yes. That I'm building up the land. Either you carry your house, I broke it.
Let me take this call from Jamil. He's calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm a first-time caller. I've been trying to call all this while, but it's always been difficult. Yeah, my contribution goes in this way. I see things a different way from the way people see it. When you talk about a husband and a wife, the husband and the wife are two different people coming from two different institutions. Who is the father of the wife? Who is the mother of the wife? In what kind of a home were they brought up? The same thing is applicable to the man. In what kind of a home were they brought up? What that thing that was struck into their brain, did they realize that in their parents' house, their parents were never perfect? Did they actually pick the mistakes from their parents to and say, okay, I'm going to make a correction on this? It's the same thing, is it applicable to the man also? Most times we parents, we mislead our children at home. I always tell my wife, do not allow my mistake or your mistake determine the way these children are going to live their life tomorrow. If you feel you had your way with your husband, what if your daughter does not have her way with her husband tomorrow and the husband sends her away? So do not let that thing you have learned from your previous experience with your parents, with your peers, your friends, your relatives that you've seen. Oh, the man is a wicked man. Every man is not good. I need to hide away some things from my arm. I need to let my children know I am providing this for them. The father also, for the fact that he has learned some other things from where some people, A lot of men have died. Though. If you go to Lagos and Benin City and so many big cities, Abuja, you see that you have a lot of landladies. The men suffer their life training the children, and when the children are grown up to take care of their parents, they will come and give their mother the lion's share, and they will just give their father token, because the mother will tell them that their father is going to go and smoke with the money. So if you have come from that kind of an orientation, you brought it into your home, please tell me how the children in that house is going to look like. You understand what I'm saying now?
Yes,
so, I always tell people, what works for A does not work for B.
Exactly.
And what works for C might not be different from the situation of T.
Thank you very much, Jamiu. That's an interesting perspective.
Because children see. Jamiu is talking about, what children see, what children would think. So at the end of the day, kids whose mothers are available more and they spend more time might not see their dad paying bills. They might not see their dad transferring money. If the woman is not someone who gives the credit to the dad, saying, oh, this was made possible by your dad, as much as possible, re-emphasizing it so they understand it. The kids will grow up and think, oh, mommy did so much more for us because she's actually the one giving them the money. But they don't know where it's coming from. And
but
what they
for
see,
children to even have that mindset, that means there's a sort of division between
the team.
Yes,
yeah, of course.
And it doesn't matter for children that their parents are doing it.
But
so no classical case, as he says.
I have noticed, because the mothers are at home more with the kids, and maybe the fathers have to go out to work, it's the mother that the kids see provide. They don't see the father, and
that was back then, no. That was back then, not now.
No. And maybe now, mothers don't spend time with the kids like they used to. But I remember where kids would think it's the mother that did everything, and the mother would have to say, "Oh no!"
When children think nannies are the ones providing.
Oh, that's terrible. That's a different topic. Let me take this call from Sheyi. Sheyi is calling from Fagba.
Take them shopping and everything.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. I always feel uncomfortable if I miss your program because I always enjoy it.
Okay.
You see, the EU on ground, I solely support the last speaker. Are you listening to me?
Very clearly, sir.
I solely support the last speaker. It depends on where both husband and wife come from, their backgrounds. Say you understand. We should not even overflow the EU. It is the sole responsibility of the man to take care of the home. He pays the rent, he provides allowance for the house. But it is also for the woman, a considerate woman, a sympathetic woman will understand that, okay, I should assist my husband. If the allowance the husband has given is not enough, he will subsidize. So you understand. We should not even overflow the EU. Understanding really matters. And
okay, there's something that is still in my mind that I think we have not really addressed. And I feel that there's a part of a modern woman that she's still trying to grapple with the authority. How far can she go? How much can she accept? Let me give you an example. So I said that when my kids were born, my husband is he for whatever reason, all my children they have Yoruba names, but we use their English names. That's completely against everything I was raised by. My father was a core Yoruba man, and he believed in that essence. My husband had a different perspective, although he was a core Yoruba man too. But he had his own reasons why they had to have English names. I was not happy with it, but I had to succumb and accept it, and it's okay. This one I said with the trip. Yes, he accepted that. Okay, I accepted that. Okay, they're not traveling, no problem. And I said, let me get a Yoruba teacher. I got a Yoruba teacher. I got a music teacher. I got a speech policy, 3 teachers for the summer holidays. At least they keep them busy. He says that no, he wanted them to go to a regular lesson, regular maths, English. And I'm thinking, they've been doing that all year. Allow them to do something else. Just like, no. My God just said no. Now, sometimes as a modern woman, you feel like am I too accepting of this? Or you know, when you hear some people say, I can never take that. You know, I mean, no, you can't try that. You know, I think it's yourself. Okay, not that you want to do like them, but you're just thinking, where can I find a middle ground where I still get what I want? Because not every woman has that charm of getting what they want in it. You know,
you have to go and look.
Find
other room matters.
Yeah, it doesn't work for every husband. It doesn't work for everybody. Why the other room matters doesn't work for everybody.
Does it?
Is it nice couple partner you have the other room?
She has to find a way now.
What I'm saying
to get her way. If it's not other room, then she has to find maybe it's belly issue.
Get pregnant.
No, get food.
Okay, went to a man's house.
So the point. So I don't make myself the issue. The point is that women, a lot of modern women have that issue of how do I stay humble, have my way, and yet still be led by this. But that's the issue.
I'm not making you the issue. I'm saying you have to study your man. Any woman, you have to study your man. Find which way you can enter.
So me,
because if not, it will be confrontation all the time. Confrontation all the time will not make
work. It's not healthy. It's not even healthy for the
So you have to find a way to enter from behind.
So if you are an alpha female,
one second, let me get for Mara that I come to you.
Let me take you out of this because there's a situation that I know of where this couple they didn't have a lot. They sort of grew up in a small town, both of them. And then, you know, they're growing through the ranks, their careers and everything. But it seems like one person is growing faster than the other. The wife seems to have blossomed. You know, she wants to be much more glamorous and things like that. She's taking in... So they were like small town Christian. Do you understand? You know the outlook, how it is different. But then you now find yourself, you're doing well, you're traveling the world, you're doing so much better than where you started from. Financially, you're both better. But mindset-wise, wife has grown bigger than husband. And it is an issue, actually. And so they find, what I see with this couple is that they're constantly finding where they have to meet. The man feels that every time the woman talks, it's like she's attacking his authority as the man. But she's just saying, see where we are, God has blessed us, we can do much more than we used to do, you know, where do we meet? And the only way I see is that the man has to also be willing to compromise with the wife. So a woman cannot be the only person working on a marriage. It has to be both sides. They need to look at it like, see, I've come this, okay, how far can you go for me and how far will you go for me? They always have to find a middle ground. It will change, it will shift from time to time, but that has...
Let me take this call, because just to add to what you said, a lot of women went to all this, you know, all these courses. They are constantly going for learning and getting better. But the husbands on the house are not learning. So the woman is getting developed, her mind is expanding of all these classes and courses she's taking, and your husband is still Baba Suraju that you married many years ago. Let me take this call from Sheyi.
I've seen that.
Good morning, Sheyi. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
You're live.
Good morning. Can you hear me, please?
Very clearly, Kemisola. Go ahead, please. Oh, it's Kemisola.
All right. My name is Kemisola.
Yes.
All right. I want to contribute to this matter. Sister Mo, the truth is I will share my little experience with you. So now, my husband, you know, okay, let me start this way. My 2 years of my life now has been on hold due to the fact that I have to be on a compulsory bed rest. Okay. And before then, I earn more than my husband, and my husband knows that I earn more than him, and we both understand that level. But in this situation now, that we have a lot of bills to clear. Without him asking me, I have the mentality of knowing that either you ask me for it or not, I have to support you one or the other way. Because I still have one or two things I do from home. Because so the mentality of the background of where we all come from actually that's the kind of person you are. And this gives us a sense of responsibility. Either the man asks for it or not. So for me, I think as a woman, either the woman demand from you or not, you should have a sense of responsibility of contributing to the home you both build, and you feel that, okay, there is a family coming out from me. That's my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Nima is going to say something. I don't want to write it down.
I was just going to... Okay, for someone who's wired differently, maybe you're an alpha female, BC has those terms that she throws around. I am such a person. I had such a mentor. My auntie goes out and takes her decisions, and her husband just allows her. You know, and I came into marriage like that. I did not marry, I married my match. So I had to unlearn that and learn new methods. I learned our mother's methods. Please, sir, can we talk? You know, because when I come out and I'm talking, unless I'm authoritative, it might not work. So you come down again and say, okay, you see, this thing, I think it will be the best for the kids. If at the end of the day, after I've deployed all the method of wiles of women, and you have done all of that, you have cried, you have begged, you have served food, it did not work, it cannot work. I let it go. I cannot come and kill myself. I let it go. Sometimes time will now prove that, oh, that was a wrong decision. And then he doesn't want to face it. We have to have this conversation. You apologize to me because I saw this future and you did not see it. And now that we have seen it, you give me my apology and then we move forward. Because if you don't acknowledge that was a wrong move, how do you
absolutely my mother, the way my mother, because my father was a serious alpha male, and my mother was more of a submissive wife. But when she wanted to get her way, she would write everything she wants to tell my father. Then she will go and meet him, and she will start reading everything to him. Then he would do. Okay. The money for the bicycles for the kids is clinical. Okay. I remember when we got our chopper bikes, she wrote all what she wanted from him, took it to him. Oh yeah, then she started reading it to him. Then he would be saying, okay. Once he had said okay, that thing will fly. When he bought the chopper bikes, he only wanted to buy one.
Oh, they shake.
But when she gave him the money, she told him it was 200 and something naira, which was for 3. He said okay. That didn't cost him anything. He bought the bikes. Hey, is it 3? You didn't tell me. You think it's 3? You said you tell me it's 3 bikes. It's what I wanted to buy. It's been bought. One was 18 extra.
But you see,
so she unlocked what works.
Yes, she found what to get what she wanted.
Yes.
So
What did they use for her? Because I hear all this unlocking for men too many times. Like, what do the men unlock for us? What are they not allowed to unlock as well?
We are easily accessible. I guess we are easily accessible.
Let me say what works.
But you know, the writing thing worked for me.
We need a man.
Yes, why we get man in it? But see, for me, I'll tell you what, I'll come to you. But for me, I found that writing works for me. Because when I write to him, because when I realized that talking, that could help you down nothing. My husband is a man's man, like a man's man. So when I write everything on WhatsApp message and I forward it to him, it takes his time to read. He can come and say all those things you are saying, but he will now understand my perspective because I express better writing. Then he sits me down and explains. I explain to him, and he now takes that thing one by one and explains to me why we can't have lesson teacher because he wants to. He now gives me the historic explanation. I might not agree, but because he has given me that moment to explain, I understand and I accept. So I found that writing has been helped me to get through.
So this is a man
I don't read my own now.
that does not care for the emotions.
And if you like cry, he will not listen.
Just give us the facts.
Yes.
I'll give you my facts.
That's brown for you.
Whoever has the stronger argument.
Yes, that's my husband for you.
What works for me? I know because I say I unlocked my husband, but my husband has unlocked me as well. He's using the word please against my decision. He will come and say, babes, please now. I'll be like, over this thing. Why are you begging? And he'll come again. Even if I tell that argument again, please now, like, we are begging your access, you are begging your royalty. I beg, leave us, let us have our way. Because we sometimes talk about what we do, we don't see what our men do. And then there's something my husband does when I buy a gift for the kids, and I go like, just put something for my kids. Say, thank you very much. And he will say it in front of the kids. Mommy just spent money for you people. Let's all of us say thank you. And they will, Mommy, thank you. And it just breaks me. I'll be like, if it was me, I would not want you to talk about it.
Well, I think you're very right. Some men haven't found that thing that unlocks us. Some men don't. Some men do, and some men don't. And I think it's important they also pay attention to what gets.
Get a man here and make him tell us what he has done to
unlock his own wife.
Because we cannot talk from their own, we cannot talk from our own
perspective.
Yeah. You know,
let's not assume all of them just love it.
But now not be calling me all this funny. I mean, I must have like 1 million nicknames with Brown. Brown gives me anytime he needs something. We just start hearing one and one.
Please tell me one.
Yana. Yana. Morasco, Mayana. Morasco. He's shouting from the room. He's shouting. Okay, but boy, what does he want? He's screaming.
So he has found his joy.
But it's not like for me. It's not. Is that my mumu button?
What does he want? Because you know that you are going to succumb. Morasco, Mayana. He is going to answer.
I have saved it to YK's hands. Okay, don't use that one. It's a very private name. Use it for me and my husband. Please don't use it outside this conversation. And that's it. Let me take a few comments on social media and wrap up, please.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I can't laugh.
Says, these are men who feel less of a man because they are unable to provide for their family. Some men preferably choose a spouse they can control economically because they know she'd not think twice about leaving when he misbehaves. And that's disempowerment. Is very common.
Yeah. Any other stories there? Nothing else on social media?
Jaffe Frederick says some men would fight to the last any idea of their partners, not necessarily because the idea is bad. The approach is key for some stubborn partners. Flexibility is also key as well. I think maturity is what he's referring to. Trying to get this lady.
So Moses Ade is asking me to ask you his question. I'm looking for his question. Okay. Moses Ade, if you are watching, please say the question again so I can...
Williams Olajumoke says, finance is a major source of distraction in a home. I think my money should be our money. And his money should also be our money.
Heard that
to go a long way in solving many conflicts that come with finance issues in a home.
In fairness, so someone like my husband right now, everything he earns, he doesn't have his own money. Everything comes to the family. So that's who he is. That's the kind of person he is. And I think with that, he gives all the respect that I know that all the resources are coming to the house.
A woman. Like
so I like to be, honestly, that's my dream.
That's the thing.
And my husband will be so rich that I won't have to come to your view. Earlier. I'll be pampered. I'll have the chef. You know, the other day, I told you now, that I was dreaming of my world. I said, Brown, I just woke up this morning. I'm on a boat. I'm in Spain, we're traveling. He said, are you Elon Musk's wife? He's like, Auntie, are you Elon Musk's wife? I said, you are going to be Elon Musk because I love to be pampered. I want to be cared for. I want to be treated. I want to be, I love the soft life. But I want to just be cared. I want to be 90 and, and I'm just chilling and dancing and having a great time. This work every day, easy, honestly. I want to be pampered.
There was one housewife I met and she was very Muslim. I don't want to use any other word to describe her. So we, in our close space, all sisters, when she took off her veil, her skin looked like
glass.
Everything just fine. Glass. Had hair piercing all the way. And she covered it with hijab. She had nice hair now on her body. I said, this is the life I want. She's very Nigerian. And she was
so all this 50-50 we always screaming. Maybe we really don't want 50-50.
There's some I am not her. I wanted to have all that softness, but I don't want to ever wake up and not have my own means.
Okay, but you also know that there are some issues that is determined by your socioeconomic status, whether we like it or not. When you are poor, you are middle class, these are the kind of conversations you have. When you are terribly rich, I'm sure they don't have time. They don't even know what 50-50 is. They are not discussing this. So this is our own
reality.
Our own reality. I'm sure Elon Musk and his wife or girlfriends are discussing 50-50. You want a jet? It's right there. You want a yacht? It's right there.
Those rich people should have something like a program where if you want to live like a rich person, just come here to spend 1 week. Like Elon Musk should have a program where you just speak on like Mariah Falabi Brown. Just, you know what? I'm giving you my wealth for just 1 week. And I'm just there. I'm like, you know what? And he comes to my house in Magodo.
Some people may not want to. They won't do that because some people may not want to leave. Like Mariah, you may just decide to hold on to their phone.
Give me the key to your vault, and that's it.
Is it the person or the means? Elon Musk can be rich and be a nasty.
Don't care about the person. It's the means. I'm waiting to consider.
Don't touch my boat. I bought it. Don't touch my cup. I bought it. Those kind of men.
Now that's reality.
That's reality for some women.
When some people will tell you they're in there and then they want to come out and you're wondering, how are you surrounded by all this wealth and you want to leave?
I can't measure this couple. I met a couple. The man's worth monthly is over 2 million. But the wife dare not spend 20,000 naira of his money in peace. In peace. He would rather use that money to buy trouble and give to her. And that's how he is. I'm telling you, they fought over who bought dispenser because she took cold water and he cut the wires.
Imagine that.
And he said it boldly, because I tell her, don't drink cold water in this house. And she drank it. I bought it, so I cut the wires. Imagine pettiness. Sometimes, you know,
So is that your husband?
It's all that glitters.
Sadly,
Really,
that's the reality of the woman.
But me, my own glitter will be very good.
Agbára
My
Ọlọ́run.
own glitter will be good. My husband is going to make $1 million. I mean, $10 million very soon.
Yes,
And when I do that, I'm going
Amen.
to... Anyways, why any comments on social media? You see me saying $10 million. The guy that came here yesterday, $5 million. You know, yes. So I think $10 million is too small. I think $100 million.
Inflation and everything.
Yeah, no, it's nothing anymore. It's $100 million we're looking for now.
Let me go to
Okay, we have to wrap up.
Ajay says if Mr. Brown made 10 hard decisions which Mariah was against, how many times was he right?
That's a very good question. Out of 10 decisions my husband made, I would tell you easily that 9 were right. Like I'm not even thinking of it twice.
Like
my husband, more often than not, is always right. That's why I just hold myself. Ikuku might be right. Because even this, the lesson, I really didn't want them to have lessons this year, but I realized it helped them. You know, I would have loved them to learn Yoruba this summer. I would have loved them to learn public speaking because those are extracurricular activities I wanted. But he insisted that, no, let them do the regular lessons. Either way, I will still be teaching because Yoruba is my own responsibility, not really a lesson teacher. Because it's just that there's so much a lesson teacher can teach you in a few weeks. So it is my responsibility to teach my child language, not really lesson teacher that's going to go for 1 month. That's really not, so I'm who's fooling who here. So he said, Morel, you teach your child Yoruba, not lesson teacher. So no problem, but he's always right.
So the values are good. The values are there.
So, Moses Ade, your question has been answered.
Let me go on a break. Oh, I mean, the show has finished.
Yeah. Don't let you go on a break.
Okay,
Shut that down.
That is all we can take on today's show. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.